If you've been hunting for that perfect fig scent, then this one might be it. What's good, guys? Hunter and welcome back to Fragrance Hunter. I hope you're all doing good. Today we are reviewing a fragrance from the house of Plume Impression, which is a very high quality niche brand. This particular one is going to be Murmure D8, which I hope I'm pronouncing right. Probably not, but guys, if you love fig, you are in for an absolute treat with this. And I have tried a few fragrances from Plume Impression. One of my favorites is Royal Bourbon, such a classy bourbon fragrance that actually made my top 10 fall niche fragrances of 2025. So I'm excited to be talking about this one because I'm not usually the biggest fan of fig, but this one right here almost made me absolutely love the note. And it's got to stand out as one of the best figs in my entire collection, and I do have a few heavy hitters. I also do want to shout out So Avant-Garde for sending this one over for review. I'm still going to keep it honest with you guys, and they are the distributor for Plume Impression. So if you want to check out anything on the entire website, use code HUNTER10 to save 10% off at checkout. So let's run down some information. Now, Murmure D8 was launched back in 2019, so it's only been around for a few years at the time of this recording. For the retail price on the only size this comes in, which I believe is a 80 ml, which is a little bit strange, but it is gonna run you $205, which honestly, in my opinion, that's not too expensive for a niche brand, especially when you take into account the quality you're getting with a fragrance like this, plus designers are at that price point now, which is crazy. Concentration is going to be an eau de parfum, so you're probably getting around 20-25% oils in here, which is always good. And for the perfumer guys, they got Quentin Bish behind Murmure D8, one of the best perfumers in the entire industry, and has a huge resume of so many masterpieces. So he is the nose behind this. And with all the information out of the way, let's look at the packaging and presentation you get with this fragrance now. All right, take a look at this bottle, which I think screams elegance and just luxury. Of course, you got that Plume Impression, the logo embossed on the bottle in gold right here, Murmure D8. On the bottom, you got your sticker with the information as far as ingredients. Mine is actually a tester, so you have some of the notes right there. Nothing on the back. Up top, you got the Plume logo as well. And this cap is like a very heavy gold metal cap, and nothing on top of the atomizer, and it does hold in by friction very tightly. In the top, you got cypress and davana. In the mid, you're gonna find fig, fig tree, and freesia. And the base, you got sandalwood, tonka bean, and cedar wood, and this will be classified as a fruity woody. So let's spray this and test out these atomizers. Whoa, that's a beautiful distribution right there, guys. It is pressurized, which is always a plus. So let's go ahead and remind myself of Murmure D8, and of course, I'll let you do the first sniff. So right away, this fragrance almost transports me to Greece, guys, because you're gonna get one of the most natural cypress green openings I've ever tried. It's so fresh, green, and a little bit woody right off the top. It almost feels like I'm laying beneath a cypress tree, maybe reading a book or something like that. Got that fresh air coming through as well, guys. And you also have this green, bitter, herbal davana mixed together with the cypress, which I think makes a perfect combination in the opening of Murmure D8, guys. It's excellent how good this smells. And some of my family is actually from Greece, but unfortunately I've never been. But if I would imagine what Greece would smell like, it would smell something like this fragrance. As you make your way into the mid is like the star of the show, you're gonna get this very fruity, green fig note, guys, like you're just eating a fig, sitting under a fig tree or a cypress tree on a nice kind of breezy, sunny day. That's how this fragrance comes across, and I love the way it smells and almost kind of paints this image in my head. Because you get the fruity fig in the mid, but you also get the fig tree, which is also very green and woody. Like I said, I do own quite a few fig fragrances in my collection. It's never been one of my favorite notes, and I gotta say right now, this has got to be the most authentic, natural smelling fig fragrance I've ever tried. And I know so many of you guys out there absolutely love fig, and if that's you, this has to be on your radar. And then once you make your way into the base of Murmure D8, it becomes even more woody, but it's primarily coming from this sandalwood, which is this somewhat creamy take on sandalwood. It's not gonna be this kind of pickly sandalwood, which I'm not usually the biggest fan of. Just very creamy, which I think complements the creamy, fruity fig that you're gonna get in the mid. So this one's gonna open up very woody, green, and bitter from the cypress and davana that dries down into that creamy, fruity fig that's also green, along with that fig tree, like you're sitting under a fig tree. And then it dries down, of course, into that creamy sandalwood base, which I think just rounds it off perfectly. And just the way this fragrance is blended and how it changes from the top, mid, and base, you could tell a master made it, which was, of course, Quentin Bish himself. For the best seasons to rock this one, I'm primarily going to wear this one in the spring and summer and the fall as well. Not so much the winter time. I think it's a little bit too bright, too fresh for that, but definitely spring, summer, and fall without a doubt. Just an ultra refreshing green fig fragrance. Think something like Fico di Amalfi from Acqua di Parma, even though personally I think I actually prefer this. And for occasion, it's very versatile, both casual and formal, the kind of fragrance you can wear dressed down. If maybe during the spring and summer you're wearing like a Hawaiian shirt, kind of just chilling, maybe by a pool, by a beach, but also has this kind of sophisticated formal touch to it as well. So it would suit anytime going on a date in the evening, go into a wedding, go into the office. If you have to dress up, it would just fit pretty much all situations, all occasions. This smells like a very classy person that usually dresses up most of the time. And for gender, I will say this is pretty unisex, which I think it's also classified as a unisex fragrance. I think maybe all of the Plume impressions are, which isn't a bad thing. Of course, sometimes things lean masculine, sometimes things lean feminine. This one's right down the middle, unisex. I can personally picture both a man and a woman absolutely enjoying this fragrance, especially if they love kind of fig, woody fragrances. This is gonna be right up your alley. So I can see this one smelling very classy and masculine on a man if he wears it, but I can definitely see it smelling very pretty and feminine on a woman if she wears it. So for age groups, when it comes to this one, guys, this one is gonna lean a little bit more on the mature side of things. It just has that maturity, kind of sophisticated vibe about it. It's not youthful, it's not playful or anything like that. It's more of a fruity, mature fragrance at the end of the day rather than being like a fruity, youthful fragrance. Because there's nothing sweet about this one. It's very kind of aromatic, green, bitter, fruity, and woody. Like I said, smells like somebody that has their life together to some extent. So I picture anybody like 25, 30s and up rocking this one the absolute best. Not really somebody in their late teens or early 20s. I just don't personally think they're gonna gravitate towards a fragrance of this kind of scent profile and this prestigeness. But hey, of course, if you are a little bit younger and you're into these kind of sophisticated, classy fragrances, go for it, because honestly, me, I've always been. But still, without a doubt, a very mature scent profile. So wrapping the review off, talking on the performance you should expect to get from a Murmure D8. So for me, guys, this is going to be an Eau de Parfum concentration, like I said, and I did get around 6 hours of longevity on skin. However, if you apply your clothes, you're gonna get a few hours longer, of course, so pretty much do both if you want the best performance. But on skin, even lotioned up, I did get upwards to 6 hours, and that's like the maximum that I was getting, which is somewhat below average from my testing, but still, based on a scent profile like this being very fresh, airy, and in the same realm as like Fico di Amalfi, which this one does perform better. So to be honest with you, I'm not that disappointed of getting only around 6 hours. And when it comes to the projection, I did get about moderate, which means it will usually push off the skin about an arm's length of distance for the first few hours. So people will smell you, you will get attention, you will probably get some compliments off it as well because of how expensive and classy it smells, especially in the air and your scent trail behind you guys. This stuff smells insane. The scent sillage this gives off of you when you're walking around smells like you're very, very important. And you're gonna have to smell this to understand what I'm saying. This is not your typical everyday type of fragrance by any means. So at the end of the day, expect to get somewhere around 6 hours of longevity, which is a little bit below average, but still not terrible, with about moderate sillage, which honestly, I think it's kind of perfect for a scent profile like this. And when you think about the kind of occasion you'll be wearing this to, yeah, it just works. Not everything has to perform over 12 hours or be a loud room-filling fragrance either, guys. There's a time and place for that, and there's a time and place for something like this. Just use your own social cues to understand what I mean by that. So that's gonna do it for my review of Plume Impressions Murmure D8. Let me know down below if you've ever heard of this house, if you tried anything from them, and if you have, what do you recommend I check out next? Because the only two I own is Royal Bourbon and Murmure D8, but I know they have so many other bangers that I can see, and I definitely want to dive into the house further. And also drop your favorite fig fragrance down below. I'm curious what you guys think is the best fig on the market. And besides that though, leave a like on the video, subscribe below if you haven't already, and of course, I'll see all of you back here tomorrow. Take care, everybody.